There's no bad choices when it comes to where to live in the Wood River Valley, but there is a right fit depending on how you imagine living your day to day. So in this video, I'll walk you through Ketchum, Sun Valley, Hailey, and Bellevue, and hopefully it will help you start to get a feel for which town might be right for you if you're thinking about moving to or buying property here in the Wood River Valley. All four of these towns sit in the Wood River Valley along Highway 75, so you're really not that far from each of the unique things each of these towns offer. You can go from Bellevue all the way up to Ketchum and give or take 30 minutes depending on how the elk herd is feeling that day. But while they are all fairly close, they feel quite different once you're actually living here. Let's start with Ketchum. I like to say Ketchum's where all the action is. If you want that classic mountain town feel, a place where you can walk to coffee, walk to dinner, be right near the lifts, hiking and biking right out your back door, then Ketchum might be the right fit for you. West Ketchum and Warm Springs are right at the base of Baldy, so you've got skiing, hiking, biking, everything's just right there. Ketchum's got a great energy. It's busy, at least by Sun Valley standards, which I would say is a fraction of what somebody in a place like Park City might consider busy. And it definitely leans more towards high end. It's a luxury market for sure, but it still does have that local feel and that old school ski town vibe, which we've all grown to know and love. So if your ideal day is walking out your door and being right on the slopes, the single track, or even Riverside, then Ketchum's pretty hard to beat. Right next to Ketchum is Sun Valley, and sometimes this can be a little confusing because when people refer to the entire valley, often they refer to it as Sun Valley. And while Ketchum and Sun Valley share city boundaries, the town themselves are quite different. Sun Valley tends to be a little quieter, a bit more spread out. You've got the golf courses, the Sun Valley Village, as well as Elkhorn and Dollar Mountain. It feels a little more tucked away since it's further away from Highway 75. Most people who live in Sun Valley still go to Ketchum for a lot of their day-to-day tasks, and the great part about that is it's not very far away. It's a very easy commute, if you would even call it that. So if you like being close to everything, but want a little more space and don't mind a little more effort for the day-to-day activities, then Sun Valley is a really good fit. Then you've got Hailey, which is where a lot of full-time locals end up. Think young couple moves to Ketchum after college, they buy a condo, then they decide it's time to start a family, so they sell that condo in Ketchum and move to Hailey and buy a house. In Hailey, you've got the airport, schools, grocery stores, and a slightly lower cost of living. It's a little more laid back, a little more local, and generally you get more for your money there. You're about 15 to 20 minutes from Baldy, but there's still plenty of great trails and recreational opportunities in Hailey. But for a lot of people, that balance, space, community, and still being close to everything is exactly what they're looking for. And then just south of Hailey, we've got Bellevue. And Bellevue often flies under the radar, but it's a great option depending on what you're looking for. It is quieter, a bit more spread out, and it's usually the most affordable of the four towns. You do get more space and a slower pace, and usually more bang for your buck. You're probably 25 to 30 minutes from the ski mountain, depending again on what the elk are doing that day. So it's a bit more of a commitment if you're heading north a lot, but it also has great river access. There's lots of new trails being built, and you've also much closer to fishing on the world-class Silver Creek. And of course, Bellevue still has that great family and community feel. And of course, you're closer to Twin Falls for anything you might need in the big city. So if you value space and don't mind the drive, Bellevue can make a lot of sense. So they're all fantastic options, but what it really comes down to is how you envision yourself living your day-to-day. If you want to be where all the action is, close to skiing, biking, restaurants, and nightlife, you're probably going to want to put Ketchum at the top of your list. If you want something quieter, but still close to all that action that Ketchum offers, you're going to want to check out Sun Valley. If you want more of a full-time local feel, then Hailey might be the right spot for you. And if you want space and value, you might want to consider Bellevue. They're all great options. It's just what fits you. So if you're trying to figure out what makes the most sense for you, feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to help you dive deeper into any of these great towns you can find in the Wood River Valley. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.